Hi, I'm Chris Marsh. I'm the sound engineer for Ed Sheeran, and we're here in Melbourne at the MCG. So here at this gig with Ed, we now have a band, which is a new element of what we're doing. But there is still the traditional element of having the loop pedal that we've had for years. But now that has evolved as well. So we now have 5 of those on the stage that all get wirelessly controlled by Ed and come to me as more channels than they ever have done. So I've got about 16 channels coming from the loop pedal. And then we've got his vocal. He generally carries his vocal mic as he runs around the stage and deals with the in and around situation. But we also have a secondary microphone and a spare microphone that are available for him to go to, grab and use. The same goes for his loop pedal, his loop microphones. He loops vocals, and we have positions of those, so multiple microphones coming in to the console, which is different to how we've done things in the past. Everything's dealt with by my trusty Q7 here. There are lots of challenges about mixing a stadium show, regardless of the act that you're working in. Mixing a stadium in the round is even more challenging. You've got reflections coming from everywhere, regardless of what the stadium is. But every stadium has their own characteristics. So it could be that a certain shape of a stadium means the sub bass, you cannot get it tight. It just wallows around all the time. Whatever you do, you can't change that. And so you have to decide, make a decision whether you high pass everything out, you take those frequencies out and sacrifice some of that low end impact in the show for the benefit of clarity. Same way with the vocal. It could be that the stadium reflects the vocal back at you, and you need to decide then overall whether you're going to mix it a little bit louder to try and overcome it. The challenge with this setup is that I've got bands that are band members in front of a PA. I've got a guy running around with an acoustic guitar who generally spends his time in the middle of all the hangs of PA and wearing an instrument that wants to feed back. So most of my challenge throughout the show is with a button here on the console, muting and unmuting his guitar. So when he takes his hands off his guitar to address the audience or run around, it's got to be muted, otherwise it's going to feed back. So my right hand gets quite a workout. Otherwise, yeah, you just have to be willing to adapt your mix all the time to suit what you're hearing. The beauty of this console is the way that I can deal with what Ed provides to me. Obviously, Ed's providing a very energetic performance, and it's not always spot on in terms of what he's playing and looping. And obviously, I'd have to be spot on with what I'm doing, because if we're not careful, things get into the loop, like a little bit of feedback gets into the loop. You then hear it every 4 bars, looping again and again. You get reminders of it for the entire song. The same happens, Ed can change channels when he's gone from playing a melodic part on the guitar to being a percussive part, and he doesn't change the channel to the percussive channel quick enough, and you get on the end of the acoustic melodic part. And the console helps me because I can then choose to gate that element of that channel, or compress to the point where that becomes a ducking effect, so you can get rid of those little nuances of what Ed provides to me. The other wonderful thing about the change from the SD7 to the Q7 has been my ability to not have so much outboard. I loved my Avalon vocal channels, absolutely loved them for years. I started having trouble with them as they were getting older, so I was looking for a way of moving away, didn't really want to. But the Q7's given me the opportunity to get rid of them, and actually I feel that I've improved the sound of Ed's vocal. It's actually helped me an awful lot. I'm using the classic compressor from the Mustard selection, and I've also got the Chili 6 on Ed's vocal system there, and that is really the only elements that are now in the chain for Ed's vocal, having gotten rid of the Avalons.